Next we have Blánaid Murphy, who's conducting the project today. Hi Blánaid.
Hi, Andrew.
Thanks for being here today. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I've a very wide experience as a choral director. At the moment I direct the choirs at the Royal Irish Academy, and I'm director of music at the Pro Cathedral, where I conduct the Palestrina choir, the girls' choir, I conduct the Dublin Bach singers. So probably any type of choir I've conducted at some point or another.
And you've quite an extensive experience with Bach's cantatas in particular. Yes,
the Lindsay Armstrong and the Orchestra St Cecilia performed all the Bach cantatas over 10 years. It was a massive undertaking. And I think I conducted between 60, well I did conduct between 60 and 70 of the 200 cantatas. Over those 10 years I did. And
picked up a thing or two.
Yeah, what struck me was just the extraordinary wealth of material. They're so contrasted, you could almost never really find a typical cantata. There's so much ingenuity of Bach relating to the text, the season, the day, the type of singer or type of player he would have had. The cantata today is one of the real chorale cantatas,
of course.
And it's even there you have the full chorus, you have the accompanied recitative, the secca recitative, the little arioso with the beautiful flute obbligato for you, the recitative, and then all the forces coming together again. It's quite a really big, meaty cantata. And,
Well, this came up in conversation earlier today that, you know, for example, the basses recit an aria are in the style of Christus from some of the Passions, or the tenor has all the grief of Petrus in those. That it is as dramatic as those works, and premiered probably quite soon in time after something like the John Passion. I think it's 6 months after the John Passion when it was first performed in Leipzig.
Yeah, I think, that use of the really low notes for the grave and things, and then the anguished tenor lines, a real, very typical and extremely demonstrative use of voice, really.
So you've been involved with conducting this cantata in particular for Leaving Cert series before. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I've conducted it with the Academy before, I've conducted it with chamber choirs, but most recently I've conducted it with the Palestrina choir, because originally it would have been written and performed for the boys in the Leipzig school. So the Palestrina boys and the gentlemen have performed it quite frequently, which has been quite interesting. And I think it's actually introduced the boys to a great love of Bach, because I think when you hear these pieces, they can seem very removed. When you see young people, or young people do actually perform them, it's really, really wonderful. And you realise, some people have spoken today about the the vocal writing very instrumental, but in actual fact, when you're singing the vocal lines, if you just put the phrasing in that Bach has asked for, immediately it's sung in a very stylish way, and it's also quite easy to sing, and the breaths just naturally come. And interestingly, the young boys find singing Bach very easy. They just obviously can very quickly take breaths and things. It fascinates me. They don't have any problem with it whatsoever.
They adapt to it maybe more easily than a
very much so. They just their voices are young and very flexible, and they really don't seem to have any problem whatsoever.
Yes, that's very interesting, and probably demonstrative of the groups that Bach was writing for, that he was writing for those kind of children's voices.
Of course, in Bach's day, like the trebles, the voice didn't break until they were near enough to 17.
Wow.
So nowadays it can be as young as 12, even 11 at times. So you had obviously great maturity then as well in those unbroken voices at the time.
Wow, that's fascinating. So just about this project in particular that we've undertaken today, are there any aspects of what we're doing here that particularly interest you or that you find engaging?
Well, I thought it was a very nice combination of some staff members and students coming together, almost everybody playing a solo line really, because we're just one to each of the parts. And I personally love nearly every movement. I love every movement in this cantata.
I won't ask you which is your favourite.
I do actually, and I think it just it showed a great variety that the Academy is able to produce, and hopefully brought to life in a very special way this wonderful cantata.
Of course. And just before we finish, Blánaid, would you be able to suggest some other works of Bach's that you feel Leaving Cert students should listen to broaden their horizons a bit?
Yes, if you were going for a choral work, I would totally suggest the Bach Magnificat, because it's lots of short movements, a huge variety. There's 5 choral movements, lots of little duets and solo parts, lots of instrumentalists highlighted. Also, I think students might very much enjoy some of the Brandenburg concertos, or of course the famous toccata, the D minor organ piece. Just pieces like that which are very easy to listen to but give you a great feeling of Bach.
Super. Blánaid, thank you so much.
Thank you.